we have a sample app called MeApp. This is the prototype, and we'll be implementing this in this video. Without wasting time, let's get started. So I'll open Visual Studio 2019 here, create new project, Xamarin Forms project, and let's call it MeApp. Select create, and we'll select the blank template and select OK. Now our project has been loaded successfully. We have our shared projects, we have the Android project, and we have the iOS project. In our shared project, we can see that we have the main page here. We are not going to be using the main page, so let's go ahead and delete it. So now we have our blank project. So let's start by creating a new item. We'll start with a content page. Let's name it App Shell. Select Add. Now this is our App Shell. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the structure from the content page to use shell. We're going to remove this as we'll not be needing it. Also, let's go to our app shell.xamarin.cs and change this to shell. Let's save. In case you see red on the line here, you have to save your project for it to reflect. So the next thing we want to do is let's go to our app.xamarin.cs and change this to a new instance of the app shell that we've just created. And now we are good to go. Before we continue, I would like to create a structure here. So let's create a new folder. Let's call it views. That's where we'll have all our views. Then also, what I would like to do is I already have some assets that I've created for this project. If you want to follow along using these assets, you can find the link in the description below. So I'm going to copy these assets into the iOS project resources folder. Click paste. If you want to test your application on the Android, you copy the Android equivalent into the drawables folder. But in my case, I'll be using the iOS simulator, so I'll be using the iOS project. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we want to do is create our pages. So as you see here, we have 4 different tabs here, and these tabs will be pointing to different pages. So I want to create those pages first, and they will reside in our views folder. So let's do add new item. It's going to be of content page. So this will be our dashboard page. Dashboard page. Then, so let's change this to welcome to dashboard. Dashboard for sake of clarity. Let's bump up the font size a little to say 20 for more readability. Let's add another page. This will be our favorites page. Our favorites. I'm using the American spelling here. You are free to go ahead and use the British spelling. Favorites page. So let's say welcome to favorites page, and also let's do font size 20. Let's save. Let's create 2 more pages. this will be our profile page. This is the page that we're going to be designing. I'm not going to change anything here as I'm still coming back to it. Let's add the last one. This will be, let's say, more page. You may have a different way to implement your more option, but let's just implement it using a page here. So we just say welcome to more page, and set the font size to 20 for more readability. Okay, now that we have all our pages, let's go back to our app shell, the XAML, and let's start to implement our flyout and tab. So let's go ahead, FlyoutItem. I'm not going to set any property now. Let's go ahead and set a tab. If you don't want to explicitly set the tab, you can go ahead and add the shell content. It will automatically wrap it around the tab at runtime. But for the sake of clarity, let's create our tab. Let's give it a title of dashboard, and our icon is set to dashboard.png, which is one of my assets. So here we declare the shell content. You can decide to set the title, but I'll just go ahead and set the content template to our page. But for us to be able to set the content template, we need to make reference to our views. So let's import the namespace. Let's call it views, and let's set it to our views. So right here, you can do data template, set to our views, and the name of our page is dashboard page. This one page. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now, for sake of time, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it. This is our favorite, and our asset is called heart, and this will go to our favorites page. So I'm going to paste again. This is our profile, and this goes to is set to the profile asset, profile of PNG, and this one goes to our profile page. And lastly, the last tab, this is more. We have more. Let's go to more.png, and this goes to our more page. All right. So what I'm going to do now is set my iOS project to be a startup project. Let me clean the solution. Okay. At this time, I forgot to mention something. In case you are having any issue, or even if you don't, the first thing we're supposed to do is to check to make sure that we have the latest version of Xamarin Forms installed. So just right click, go to manage, get packages, the installed section, click on Xamarin Forms, and let's see here. Okay, so we have the latest version installed. If you don't have the latest version installed, please install the latest version, clean your project, and build. So I'm going to run this now, and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to my Mac here. Let's see. Okay, now as you can see, we are right on track. We have our dashboard. Welcome to dashboard. We have our favorites. Welcome to favorites page. We have our profile still saying welcome to Xamarin Forms. We're coming to it. We have the more page saying welcome to more page. So now we have all our pages, and if we come here and drag this out, we have our flyout, but at this stage we don't have anything listed here. Okay, so before we continue, if you look here, if you look very well down here, let me try to get this out of the way. You see that we have our selection set to this color. So the next thing we want to do is let's change the theme of our application. So we want all this color to be a different color. So let's go ahead and do that now. So in order to do that, we have to set the properties of our shell in the resources. So I'm going to stop this. So what I'm going to do is come here and say shell.resources. Let's create a resource dictionary. So the first thing is, because I know that we'll be using different colors, we'll be reusing some colors. So I want to first of all do some color resources here. Let's give this a key of let's call this theme color, and our theme color, let me bring out our theme color here. Our theme color is this. Okay, so the next one I want to do is something like gray. Let's call it gray color. Say gray color, and our gray color. Let me see, can we use a name? Yeah, set to gray, and then the last one I want to do is the background color. So this will be the background color of our tab bar and our navigation bar. So let's call this background, or let's say BG color. Let's make it BG color, and our BG color getting it from our prototype is this. Okay, so now that that is set, the next thing I want to do is now create a style for our shell. So I'm going to go about it like this. Say style, give it a key, X key is, let's call it base style. Can give it any name, and our target type is, let's give it a target type of elements. Okay, then in this style we have to set some properties. So let's do setter property equals shell dot the background color. Well, let's do the tab background color, things that are related to our tab background color, and let's set the value. Our background color is the color that we've declared here, so we just set the value. So static resource, and the key is, oh sorry, I have to rename this PG color. So the key is PG color. Okay, let's close this. To setter, you know what, I'm going to copy this now for sake of time. So setter, the next property we want to change is our tab foreground color. And I want to set it to our theme color. Then the next thing I want to do is to set the tab unselected color. That is when the tab bar has not been, the tab bar unselected color. That is when the tab bar is unselected. It has to be our gray. So let's give it our gray color. And also the title. The next thing I want to do is the title color of our tab bar. So tab bar title color, I want to set it to our theme color. Okay, so let's save this now, clean our solution to avoid any issue, and run. Okay, our project is running. I'm going to switch to my Mac here. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so it still hasn't changed. I think I'm forgetting something. Yes, I'm forgetting something. So I'm going to stop here. There's one other thing that I need to do. Remember, we set the target type here to just element. So this is a generic target type. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another style for FlyoutItem. Now, from what I've noticed, if you're trying to set the target type here, it's not going to come out in the IntelliSense, but just go ahead and type out the FlyoutItem. But I'm very sure it's going to be fixed. So you say based on our base style. This is a base style that we created. So just say based on. You can as well just say target type here equals flyout item, but we want to be able to reuse this base style uh, in subsequently. So that's why we decide to make the target type to be of type element. So now here we just say static resource and use our base style. Okay, so let's close this, save, clean solution, then let's run. Okay, our project is running now. I'm going to switch to my Mac and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so as you can see now, our color here has changed from the default blue color to our theme color, and the unselected color is gray. If you look at it, it's gray more than the default color of our assets. Now, the beauty of setting the style for our tab bar is if I select profile, you see that the selected tab has changed to our theme color. So automatically it's going to change the color of your asset to the theme color, the color that you've set for your title, the foreground color and the title color. So the foreground color is what is controlling the color of the asset of your icon, and for the title color, this is one controlling this title. So as you can see, if I go ahead and select other tab, we have it there. If you check our flyout, we see that it's still empty. So the next thing we're going to do is to populate our flyout with some items. To do that, let's go back to Visual Studio. Now, this flyout, if we check, let's go back to the Mac and let's launch this application and see. Now, if we come to our flyout, actually we have one item, as you can see here in this gray part, and this is our flyout item. If I select it, what it's just going to do is just going to load our default page. One option is that you can have different flyout item that has different tab section. Okay, so we already have a flyout item here, so let's call it let's give it a title, and let's call it home. So what we can do is that we can set another flyout item here, flyout item, and give it a title. Let's call it settings. And so I'm just going to copy one here because I'm just doing an example. I'm going to delete it back later. So let's say this is our settings flyout item. So if I clean the solution, excuse me, if I clean the solution, let me stop. Okay, it's already building. Okay, it's building the Android. Let me just go ahead and stop, cancel this. So what I want to do is to clean the solution actually, then run the solution. So I just want to show you how it's going to look like if you decide to go with the flyout item to populate your flyout. So you can have 3, 4, 5, 6 different flyout items that contains different tab and their shell content. So let's go ahead and see how it looks like. This is loading now. Okay, so if you drag out our flyout Now here you can see we have home and we have settings. If I select the settings, it's going to take me to welcome to Xamarin Forms. That's the page I set it to. Now, the reason why we don't have any tab here is because we only have just one section, which is the tab, just one tab. So there's no need to put the one tab here. If we happen to have two or more tabs, if you happen to have more than one tab here, then we'll see the tab shown at the bottom. So this is one way. Another way is that you can decide to not to use a flyout item. You just want to use say shell content. Now let's say you just want to use shell content and let's give it a title. Let's give it a title, let's give it a different title now. Let's say privacy. Now if you're doing it this way, you may see this error here. This seems like a bug in Visual Studio. I don't know, but what I know is that you can actually declare shell content like this in your shell, and it will automatically do the wrapping for you. So you can have multiple shell content. Let's have another one here. So let's say this is what we want to use to populate our flyout. So let's give this one what can we call it now? Let's say uh, portfolio. Okay, so let's clean solution and run to see how it looks like. You see build succeeded despite the error that we're having. Build succeeded. Let's switch the mark and see how it looks like. Okay, so if I drag out the shell here, you see we have home, privacy, and we have portfolio. So now this is a flyout item, this is a shell content, this is a shell content, and we're able to get our flyout here. So this is another way to populate your uh, flyout. Now I'll show you one more way before I show you the last way that I'm going to use to implement this. So another way you can use to implement your flyout item is let's go ahead and remove this, is that you can come to this place. If you want to be able to use all these tab as items in your flyout, you can just come and say flyout display behavior, set it to as multiple items. The default is a single item, so setting this to as multiple item, let's see how it looks like. Okay, let me switch to my Mac here and see. So if I drag out the you see we have dashboard, favorites, we have profile, and we have more. These are items on our tab, and if you see we have the corresponding icons here. But at this particular place, it's just the color, the exact color of our assets that we are seeing. Because we check the color for profile, this is the color for profile assets that we were able to get. From our prototype, as I can see here. That was where we got it. Of course, we can get the gray version of it, but for the sake of this video, that is what we'll be using. So that is another way to populate your flyout with item. For the last way, which I'm going to use, is using the menu item. So I'm going to change this now. So this now, let's go back to our prototype and see. See, we have home, photos, articles, we have projects, and we have the settings. So what I'm going to do is that this flyout item, because there's no way you can remove this flyout item from the flyout itself. I expect that Xamarin Forms team should be able to provide us with something like flyout behavior and set this to none, so that this will not be part of the flyout item. I've looked at several ways. There's no way around. But if you're able to get a way around this, uh, please put it in a comment below so that I can look into it and other people can benefit from it. But in all my findings, I've not been able to see how to remove this flyout item from the flyout itself if you are using the menu item. So what's going to happen is that this flyout item will be one item on the flyout. Then right here, we are going to declare all our menu items. So the same thing will happen if you're using the menu item. That seems to be a bug. If you do like this, the next thing that's going to come out is property of the menu item. But that's not what we want. Set the text to we already have home, so the next one is photos. So we have, this is our home now. So the next one will be photos. Let's set the icon image source and let's set it to photo.png. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'll come here. Let me set the icon of this one too. Say icon. Let's set it to home.png. We already have the home.png asset in our project. So I'm going to copy this now and I'm going to paste it. That's like 3 more times. So I'm going to change this to articles. Then call it, this is article.png. I'm going to change this to projects. And this is going to be briefcase.png. Briefcase.png. All these are assets that I already have in the project. So the last one is settings.png, and I'm going to change this to settings. Okay, so now let's run this project and see how it looks like. Well, clean our solution and run. Okay, our project is running. I'm going to switch to the Mac. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so let's drag out our flyout. Yeah, as you can see, we have home, photos, articles, projects, and settings. Now, looking at this, you can see that it's clumsy here. It's just towards the side here. And of course, judging from our prototype, we still need to have this header part here. So, but we are still on the right track. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the header part here. I'm going to bring out the header part here. Then if you like, If you like your items the way it is like this, of course you can leave it, but I'm still going to do some formatting to this. Okay, so let's do that now. I'm going to close this. Now, in order to bring out our the header, Xamarin Form shell has something that is called the Flyout header template. Flyout header template. So what we are going to do is, let's before do it like this. I'm still going to change it to make it more cleaner, but it's just very simple. So I'm going to do shell dot flyout header template. Then it's going to be data template. And what we want to do is we want to structure our data template in the way we want it to look like based on our prototype here. So from here we have well, the height is about 245. 243, we're going to use 245. So this is what we're going to do. You come back here and let's set the flyout item to a content view. I'm going to use a content view. And yes, our background color is our theme color. So we're going to say background color is a static resource theme color. And next thing I want to do is to set the height request to 245. Okay, then sorry, excuse me, 245. Let's close this. And right in the middle of our header here, we have the logo. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set an image, set a source to logo.png, which is an asset in the project. It has a width of 96. I'm following what's on the prototype now. Let me go back and show you. If I select this now, see it has 96 by 96. So I'm going to set it to 96 and the height request to 96. And then it's in the center, so I'm going to set the horizontal and the vertical option to center. Horizontal option equals center, vertical option center. Okay, now I'm going to close it. So now this is our flyout header template. So let's clean the solution and let's build. Let's run rather. The project is running. Let's switch to the Mac and see how it looks like. Okay, so let's bring out our shell. Yeah, as you can see, we have our header here just like we have in our prototype. We have our header just like the way we want it to be. Okay, so the top part here, if you like, you can You can use a save area to remove the other part so that this part can get to the stop. Um, but that is out of the scope of this video. We can look into that later, but let's continue with our project. So now we have this, and we have um, our tab bar. The next thing I want to do is to format these items exactly the way it is on our prototype, so that because we are following a prototype, so you're able to see. So if you still want to stick with me to see some of the changes and some of the improvement I'm going to make on this, of course, you can still go ahead, continue to watch this video. But majorly, we've actually covered how to implement the flyouts and the tab bar. But if you still want to stick with me to see some other improvement I'm going to make, uh, please do. I will encourage that you stick with me. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to format the flyout item so that I'll be able to have it exactly the way um, it is on our prototype. So uh, there is a property, a shell property called MenuItem template. So I'm going to stop this. Say shell dot menu item template. Then from here, we're going to set a data template. And what we want to do is we want to put it in a, you can use a grid, you can use a stack, you can use a content view, the way you like it. But I have a code snippet here that I've already made, so I'm just going to bring it in and explain what I've done. Okay, so I have a stack layout, horizontal, and I have image it is binding to the icon of the menu item. Then the label that the text is binding to the title of the menu item. Now, this can either be title or it can be the text, because the menu item, if you come here, is actually the text. We can take up the title. The text is also the title of the menu item. Now, the reason why I'm using the title here is because I still want to reuse this code at the point which I'm going to show you. I will have just used text. Doing this now, and the other thing I did was, okay, set the width and the height request of the image to 22 by 22 as we have it in our prototype, and we have the start horizontal option and center or vertical. We have the label, the font size is 16. So if we run this now, there's something important I want to show you, and the reason why I want to reuse this template. So let's clean, and as you can see, our menu item is still showing error here, but like I said, it's like a bug in Visual Studio. So if we run this now, let's check our Mac and see what it's like. Okay, let's pull it out. So as you can see, because this is our flyout item and this is our menu, you see that our menu has been formatted in such a way that we have the margin here and the space in between, and the text color and the font size has already changed to what as we have it on our prototype. But this is our flyout item and it seems to be different. So Also now there is a property that is called the shell item template. So if we use the shell item template, let's do this. Let's say shell dot item template, and we reuse this because that is exactly how we want to format that one too. Let's reuse this now. Save, clean our solution, and run. So now our project is running. Let's bring out our flyout. Yes, as you see, now this has changed from that black to the color that we have in our template. So that is what I actually wanted to show you, that even though you are using different different way to, or different items on your flyout, you can still style it to look exactly the same. So what I want to do now is to clean all these things up. Now what I want to do is um, because as you can see, we have 1, 2, and we have 3. So this, we are using these 2, and it's not clean enough. So what I'm going to do is we'll come to our resources here. Let me stop the project. Come to our resources here and create a data template. Let me just move it up here. Or just come here, just remove this totally and remove this altogether. So I'm going to come here, paste this here, set a key for it, X key, and let's call it menu template. So having done that, what we're now going to do is to come up here to set let me do this right here. Come up here to set our shell. The first thing we want to do is shell dot item template and set it to a static resource of menu template. Let me cross check, is that a name? Those are resources, data template, yeah, menu template as a name. Then the next one is that of our menu item template itself. So we say shell dot menu item template. We're going to set it to this also. Then lastly, what we want to do, just to make sure our code is clean, is we can as well leave this, but I just want to bring it up. Here. Let's put it in the resource dictionary, and let's call it our flyout header template. Say X key, flyout header template. So I'm going to remove it completely from here and come back up here and set the shell. Excuse me. Shell dot flyout header template. Now, one thing you notice that the IntelliSense is not bringing it out here, but just type it out. Fly out header templates, header templates, and let's set it to a static resource of flyout header template. So as you can see, we've rearranged our XAML code to make it more neat. So let's clean this, clean solution, and let's run the project. So our project is running. I'm going to switch to the Mac here. Let's see how it looks like. It's still going to look exactly like the way we left it off. So as you can see, still exactly the way we left it, still as clean as the way we left it the other time. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do now is I want to bring out our profile page to look like what we have in the prototype. So that will be the last thing I'm going to do. And to do that, I'll come to our profile page. I'm not going to implement this from scratch. I already have a code snippet that I've written for this. I'm just going to paste. Don't worry about this. You have the link to the code in the description below, just for the sake of our time. So I'm going to clean this, clean solution, and run. So now we should be able to have exactly what we have on our on our prototype. So with this, we can say that we've done justice to what we set out to do. So I'm going to switch to the Mac here. Then I'm going to come to this place. So as you can see, this is what we have. If you bring out our flyout, we have it here. But there is one issue that I'm seeing here, which I'm going to fix. If you see, we have two hamburger menu here. So what I'm just going to do is set a property, which I forgot. I skipped my mind when I was saying. So on our profile page, I'm going to set a property on this profile page and say shell dot is navbar is visible, and set it to false. So let's clean this and run. Now let's go to our profile page. So as you can see, we've removed it. You can remove this safe area. There's a way to go about it so that this can move to the top. So if you draw out our navigation, our flyout rather, as you can see, now we have it. All right. So there we have it. This is what we have planned to do, and now we've achieved it. Okay, so there's one challenge that I see, which I'm also going to point the attention of the Xamarin Form themes to. Right here at our tab bar, if you want to have just only the icon and not the text, it's not possible for now. Though you can have the text and not have the icon, but if you have the icon, there will still be space down here for the text. The space will still be available. and it doesn't look clean at all. So I'm of the opinion that if we refuse to set the at least one uh, of the title, it should automatically shrink and collapse the space for this title so that we have just only the icons. And immediately you're able to set at least one, then it should expand to give room for the title here. Because initially when I was planning this, I planned to just have only the icons and not the title. But looking at it, when I tried to implement it, it was not looking good at all. However, if there's a workaround that you're able to find, please put it in the comment below so that other people can benefit from it and I can also learn from it. Alright, so in the next video, what we'll be looking at is navigation. So what we'll be doing is we'll be hooking up all these menu item to navigate from this place to their respective pages. We'll be looking at shell navigation in the next video. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it by giving it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell sign so that by the time we upload new videos, you'll be notified. Also, if you want to support us on Patreon, uh, Patreon is a place where you can support us with a monthly donation of your choosing. You can cancel at any time. So please, if you'd like to support us, the link will be in the description below. And I want to use this video to thank all our Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for supporting us. You have been helping us to be able to do videos like this. We really appreciate your support. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.